Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi,
Yes,
Tuan.
yes, you can hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, sound good. We can continue. I'm sorry. I was just get back from Hawaii, and I noticed that a VA market is so good that we should target them. It's a great market. We have excellent rate, VA rate that no one can beat. So we should expand to that market. And whoever want to help me with this, I would love to work with you. We should target them. I think that in any market, if we focus, we can beat them, we can win. So, for example, VA market is very special market where they have been rip off right now, right? Normally, let's say a conventional loan, a loan officer make 200 basis point, but for VA they make 300. So the rate for VA loan for us to compete is so much easier to win. So I really want to target them. I want to find a way to target them. Whoever, I think we should set up a meeting like next week. Whoever interested, we can get together. We talk about VA loan only. What do you think? We can talk about VA loan strategy, how to break into that market. Because if we win, if we can establish our foundation, we can grow really fast because they will spread the word. Our rate, our technology, our service, everything better than the competitors out there. So I think VA market is good for us. Hey, Devin.
Hello, thank you. I just came from a broker that was doing pretty much exclusively VA loans, right? Mainly refis, and he did a lot of mailers, and the mailers tended to have a pretty good effect when they were structured correctly, right? And so he knew a lot about VA loans, but that's how he was able to reach out and do many millions of dollars in loans is through the mailers. Direct mailers
Yes.
to veterans with so much, in this case it was cash out refis, but you could do purchases as well.
So
But that's what he did.
so we have to have a strategy. And for example, mailer. If you do mailer in California, you will fail for sure. But if you do mailer in a state that not competitive, then we will win. So how do we get a list of veterans so that we can mail them?
He had either through the credit bureau or through a mailing company, but he was able, in this case, to distinguish how much debt they had and where their credit came in. So he was structuring it where we wanted between like a 650 and below credit score because we had lenders that could do 560s, 580s, cash out refis, so and that was for the refis. But when it came to purchases, it was a little different.
I think we should have another section about VA loan because I have a lot to share too. I found out I learned a lot and I want to share with everyone. So we can do that next week. Just a meeting for VA loan only. So I have a lot. I learned a lot, and I want to share. So let's do that maybe next Monday. Natalie, please make sure we have that in the calendar next Monday, where we talk about VA loan only. Okay. So can someone? I'm outside, so can someone run the meeting? Who raised the hand next? I'm sorry, I cannot tell. There's so many hand up.
It's me, Xiaolan.
Yeah, hi, Silent.
Hi, Tuan. I still going to my last question I asked in the chat yesterday. So that's the VA loan come from North Carolina. That's a realtor actually running right now, and I'm targeting her right now because I have a license on North Carolina for her because she's my really good gamer friend. So she actually at the moment have this question saying her buyer gonna pay extra because the valuation is lower, but it's under the process of reconsideration right now. Can they cancel this reconsideration, just let the buyer pay the extra?
So basically, the appraised value come out less than the purchase price.
Yeah.
And it is up to the buyer to pay extra.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah.
But it's under the reconsideration right now with the lender.
And what exactly reconsideration? I have no idea.
So as VA loan, I dig in a little bit. I'm not sure other can help as well. So VA loan, if the valuation is lower, so the buyer or buyer's agent can go to lender, request reconsideration of the value with the lender.
Just appeal, basically appeal the value.
Swan, do you want me
okay?
to take this one?
Yeah,
Swan,
please.
this is Lindsay.
Yes.
You want me to handle this?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. On VA, an appeal works a little bit different. It's actually called an ROV, reconsideration of value, and you only have like 72 hours to get the appeal in. And then what happens is it doesn't work like a normal conventional. On a conventional, when an appraisal comes back, you see the value comes in, and then you appeal it. But on a VA, it's the complete opposite. What happens is on a purchase, the appraiser reaches out to the lender or to the ANC to let the lender know that they believe that the appraisal is not going to come in at purchase price. They then tell you that you need to reach out to your real estate agent and that you need to get comps that support the purchase price. You have to then complete it on a special form, and it has to be done within a certain amount of hours. And then you submit it back in, it gets turned into the appraiser, and then the appraiser will then review and then issue value and either the value's there or not. You can't appeal an appraisal, a VA appraisal, after the value's already been, just so you guys know.
Right. So my question is, they went back to the appraiser already. Can they cancel this reconsideration right now for the whole?
Can they cancel the reconsideration?
Yeah, because the buyer is willing to pay the extra.
Yeah. So all that happens is the appraisal is going to be turned in within 24 hours anyways. So if you don't, I mean, it doesn't hurt you that you did a reconsideration. So it's already been submitted, so there's no reason to cancel it, but that appraisal is going to be submitted anyways. It's very tough to get a reconsideration of value on VA anyways.
Okay, so the case is like they just can wait this process to be done, right?
Correct.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
That's right. You're welcome. All right.
Okay. Thank you, Lindsay. Hey, Bong.
Oh, okay. I asked earlier, but I want to clarify something. I had a prospect who want to do a pre-approval. She's going to buy the house for the parents because they're not qualified income and they have no credit. However, she doesn't want to be on the title. She wants to be on the note. Can she do that, or she has to be on the title and the note?
Can you ask who is the buyer?
The buyer is the daughter.
And then she's not qualified, so her mom.
No.
will jump
Her
in.
mom is not qualified. Her parents are not qualified. She buy the house for her mom, but she has two houses. But she qualified for the income for the house of buy for her parents.
Okay.
However, she doesn't want to. She's going to be a co-signer, but she doesn't want to be on the title.
Yeah,
She's
that's
okay with the note, but she doesn't want to be on the title. She wants her parents to be on the title. Is that okay?
Yes, her parents can buy the house.
Okay.
So on title, her parents will be the owner. Her parents will be on title, but on the loan, she and her parents would be on the loan. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay, but she doesn't have to be on the title, right? Just want to clarify. Okay.
Correct.
Thank you
No
so
problem.
much. Thank you. Okay, thank you.
The only exception is Provident funding. Provident funding, the loan, the title, and the person on the loan must match. They have to be the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about Rocket? You think they're okay?
Yeah. They should be okay for sure.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you.
With Rocket, it's fine. The thing you need to remember is kids can buy for parents as owner occupied, but if the child is going to have the loan in her name and she doesn't want to be on title, then you need to make sure that you put the parent on the loan. If you don't put the parent on the loan, then the daughter would have to go on title. But if you put the parent on the loan as well, then you have no issue.
Awesome. Thank you for that too. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, Benjamin, I know you've been waiting. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just wanted to add on the VA. I know Zach touched on this last week that he is doing a lot of VA loans. I just got off a presentation with Homes for Heroes, which is a program designed for VA people. And they're running a promotion right now they're waiving the $175 activation fee per month to get the program started. They charge you $175 a month, and you get to pick between 1 and 3 zip codes in the state that you're licensed in. as a participant member in which they give you leads and everything directly from VA people that are looking for loans. And it's also for real estate agents as well. So you can also participate in this, and you can partner with real estate agents per se and vice versa. So I'm thinking about trying it. I don't know, has anybody else worked with Homes for Heroes in the past?
I doubt it, but I am interested. If you can share with a few of us here, can you share with everyone about this program? I want to do some research before our next meeting about VA so that we can discuss in detail.
Yes.
Yes,
And
just
then
share with us. Yeah,
that kind lending that we just got an email from with the VA stuff, are we already contracted with those people, or is that something you have to sign up for?
about with Kai lending.
Kind lending, they just had an email here shortly, a little
What did
while
they say?
about rates dropping for VA people, I guess.
Oh, it's just marketing.
We're set up.
The key is how to target VA, how to
Yeah.
help them, and we need to partner with the realtors. They love
Huh.
realtor want this. We want this, so we need to
Well,
come up with a way. Yes.
It's called Homes for Heroes.
Can you forward us that email or
Yeah.
that program?
Yeah,
I want to
will.
research about that.
Sure.
So, VA it's hard to target them because we don't know who they are. But then I learned that there's a company that supports the military, and they have exclusive access to all VA. They provide tons of services to VA, and they accept sponsor and advertisement. So that's why in the next meeting I want to share with everyone. I will email you the materials that I have, and then we all can study and discuss. Yeah. Hi, Devin.
Yeah, I want to make a note that Mutual of Omaha is offering VAs for this year. They will take care of the appraisal. So every VA loan that they originate, they will pay the $600 for appraisal fee. So and that's one of the lenders
Yeah.
that are targeting VA. So just kind of putting
We-
that out there.
These are all just marketing. We can do the
Mhm.
same. We can offer, like, say, free appraisal, no origination fee. We can offer all of this. Just marketing.
Yeah,
So-
but you could offer it through Loan Factory versus them paying for it through the lender, is what you're saying, huh? As a Loan Factory marketing,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah, if we want, we can do that. There's no problem. We can offer them that. It's all marketing. That's why we
Mhm.
need to fire. There's a multiple step. First is to identify them. And we will send them the message, which is the ads or the marketing. So one step at a time. We need to access, or we need to be able to find them first, and then send the message across, so that we can win. Yeah, you can continue. I'll be quiet for 5 minutes.
I mean, my dad was a veteran. I got him a VA loan. He had a disability. I think a really good way to target, I guess, VA people is when they go meet with their disability counselor and kind of go to them and you basically try to get referrals directly from them, because obviously they get the funding fee waived, which is another big benefit to it. So if you get a good little rapport with those guys, I think that's a really good lead source right there.
Anybody else have any other suggestions? Go ahead, Bong.
Can we ask the lender, does VA give us like a webinar? Because I have never done a VA loan before.
Yeah.
We can do that. We actually have next week, we're doing an FHA training on the 18th. It's a pro performance all FHA training, but I could ask for the following week, I could ask for a special VA training for Loan Factory. We just can't do it next week because we are doing an FHA one, but absolutely we can set that up for you guys.
Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you.
That's good.
Yeah, that would be perfect. Please come up with a schedule for us. I think we all need a training on VA loan. Yes.
For sure, absolutely.
So basically, VA loan, perfect type of loan, especially in this market, because buyer might be scared, might be not qualified, but VA, they get paid by the government. They get special living assistance from the government, the living allowance, and that can be used to qualify. So VA, they invest a lot, they buy house a lot, and they don't really care what happened to the market. They buy it, they live in it for a few years, and when they move away from the base, they sell it, they make the money. It's a rate VA loan. They have no down payment, no MI. It's low rate, and everything is so good. It makes sense to target them. Hey, Jack.
All right, hey guys. So one thing I will recommend is anyone that wants to focus on a particular niche, in this case it's VA loans, I would highly advise for you to know the product. Don't go out there, start marketing, or don't go out there, start spending money on advertisement or any kind of marketing if you don't know how the product works. You have to learn your guidelines before you go out there. The VA is, like Tuan said, it's probably the best loan that anyone can get, because obviously it has a lot of its benefits. You can go up to, I've done a VA loan where my DTI ratios were at 71%. No other loan's going to be able to get that done. But, obviously you got to know your guidelines. There are some stipulations up front that you need to know. So highly recommend getting one of our lenders to do a VA training so people understand how it works. Because if you're going to go out there, if the opposing person asks you questions, you should be able to answer it. If you don't, then you're going to just look, dumb, fortunately.
Thank you, Jack. That is very good advice. And it always looks easy than it is. But when you touch it, when you deal with it, it's getting difficult. I mean, in many cases, even I myself, I experienced that my rate is way better than the competitor. But for some real reason, the borrower still go with the other, with the competitor. It's very hard to understand the reason behind. So that is why the service, the relationship factor coming in. You need to know how to work with your clients, stay close to them, communicate with them, understand them. And, like Jack said, you need to be an expert in your niche market. And you cannot hit everything everywhere. My recommendation is be an expert in your community, wherever it is. Like, for example, to be honest with you, I can be the top loan officer in the country, but I cannot get in Chinese client, for example. For sure, they won't do business with me. So you need to focus on a community or type of market that you are good at. For example, culture or language is important. Or, you have a group of friends, working on that group of friends and expand that. Or if you work with VA, you need to focus on VA completely. You don't try to target everything everywhere. You will fail. It's very difficult. Focus on one base, build up that base, and then expand that later. Don't try to target a big market. You target like 150 people or 100 people that you're really close with. And then from that, you can expand slowly. That is my advice.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, just on the guideline thing, I was going to suggest a couple of things that I found to be very valuable. I mean, obviously trainings are great, but in this case, we're going to end up waiting 2 weeks to get the training. So I would recommend two things. Number one, just going onto YouTube and searching, some videos that are, by people who have a lot of followers and have a lot of likes, see what they have to say about just the gotchas and the what to look out for and, just the things to know. And then also, of course, you can go on to Rocket's website and check guidelines there for income, credit, and cash. Like all those are the big three that we always want to know for any kind of loan.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you. This takes me to another advice that I have is, for example, if you want to target VA, then you have to follow the top VA loan officers in the country. Follow them, watch them, whatever they are doing. Try to think carefully why they do that. Can you do the same? Think it hard. You have to learn from the successful people and get copy from them and try to do even better. And I would love to sit down with you and analyze with you. Let's say you can say, Tuan, here, I want to do VA. I saw that in my market. The 2LO, they are so successful. And here are all the advertisements, all the things that they do. I can do the same or not. We can analyze it together. If any of you interested in the VA market, then do that. Do some research, and then next week when we get together, we can bring it out and we can analyze them together. I mean, because sometimes it worked for that LO, might not work for you. Everyone have a unique strength and situation. So, but then we have to study, we have to learn. That is why I ask everyone to make friends a lot with successful loan officers out there, so that you can learn from them, you can follow them. Yeah, thank you, Scott. Benjamin.
Yeah, I wanted to just touch again, as I recollect on VA loans, the LOs also have to have, I forget the membership, you have to go to the VA site so that you can pull the client's ranking and everything for what they're eligible for. But it's a
Certificate of eligibility.
yeah, it's a 2-day wait. You got to sign up and provide all your information. I think it's specific per brokerage you work for too. So if you worked somewhere
Yeah.
else previously, I think you got to go back in. Just letting you guys know that could be a game changer if you're coming down to the wire and you got to wait 2 days for a year. You know.
Lindsay, you have any advice on this? Because
Yeah, we handle that for you at Rocket. We sponsor Loan Factory. Loan Factory already renewed for the year. They paid the $100 fee. So individual LOs, you guys don't, as long as you're a normal licensed LO, which all of you are, you don't need to worry about having any additional things within the VA. That's already taken care of when you submit with Rocket through wholesale side. So yeah, you're good there.
I know that. How do we pull the certificate of eligibility?
We pull it for you.
Okay.
We pull it for you. Yeah, if
And
you guys want to sign up and have access, you would need to do that independently on your side, but we handle all of that for you on the Rocket side, so you don't have to mess with all that. But it's up to you if you want to.
How soon is the turnaround time?
We pull it as soon as you submit the file. So as soon as the full package is received, we pull it as we're underwriting the file. That way we can, have all the information as we make a decision. If there's ever an issue with it coming, we just alert you, and then we might have to get something else from the client if for some reason it doesn't come back. But in 13 years, I've probably not had it come back maybe 10 times. And then the client just has a different document that we can do. So we'll handle all that for you.
Is it often that the client might not qualify for VA loans? Is that a concern?
No, it's very rare. I mean, if they have an active VA loan that's paid off, things like that. But no, if they're a vet and they have entitlement, then they're good to go. It's very simple.
Lindsay, does this include, do you guys pull the DD-214 if the customer doesn't have it as well, or do they have to provide that?
Yeah. So if the certificate of eligibility doesn't come back, that's when we'll ask for you to get additional documentation. When you get that, then we can go in and start chasing everything down. So I've seen it be different things, but yeah, so we do pull the DD-214 or have a client, you know how they have their awards thing, and we can tie it with that. And then we have a whole VA team that'll work on it if we can't get the certificate of eligibility. It's so rare though that happens for us. I mean, knock on wood, it's I don't want to jinx myself, but it's real rare I ever get that.
It's really easy if you could just have the client go to the website and pull it, or go to the nearest VA office and just have them pull it themselves. They could get the certificate of eligibility and the DD-12 right from the office. I have all my clients do that.
Yep.
Yeah, normally, can I ask something? Normally the client, because I've never done one, but normally I had pre-approval before for them. Most of the client has the DD-14, so yeah.
Tracy, I have a question for you. I can pull COEs at my last brokers, my last two. Usually I have to get hooked up with a lender. Is it through Rocket or through Loan Factory? Like they have to sponsor me on their end when it comes to the
so we pull, since we're pulling the certificate of eligibility, that's on us. But if Loan Factory wants to sign up independently to be able to pull certificate of eligibility, you definitely, because there is a lot of brokers that just like to pull them on their own and have that before they even submit the file. Let's say it's not going to Rocket for some reason, right? Then of course, so it's one I can talk with you after too, just to go through with Harry and Dennis how to get that set up for Loan Factory.
But is there a benefit for Loan Factory to sign up?
It's just if the loan wasn't going to Rocket, some lenders don't pull the certificate of eligibility. We just do it as a courtesy. And then if you want to vet what they're eligible for prior to it coming in,
Right.
So I think we pull it so early on. And I'm definitely not giving Rocket a plug here. I'm not trying to say that, but I would say I get most of my partners VA business, guys, because we pay for all the non-allowables as well. Which when we do the VA training, I'll go through that. But that's that's
That's huge.
additional credits. I have a loan in front of me we're putting an extra $880 on a loan right now because the non-allowable fees can't be charged to the client. So I do feel like we get a lot of the VA stuff, but Swan, if the LOs want to be able to pull it, yeah, there definitely could be a benefit on your guys' side for it, for sure.
That's huge that you pay for non-allowables.
Yeah, it's a really big deal. It's one of those hidden gems because when you're pricing a loan, you can't see it because it's you can't it's hard to factor that in because when you're just pricing a loan, you don't have all those fees, but and again, I'll go through this in the training, but there's all these non-allowable fees and literally I'm looking at a loan in front of me and $880, that's a lot more to put on a credit for a client that they get on their CD and it's labeled a non-allowable. It's not like a secret hidden fee or something, but so I think most VA would probably come to us as long as, you guys are happy with everything.
Is there anything, Lindsay?
I'm here.
Is there anything we can do, like any marketing we can do with those non-allowable? Like, can we promote it?
You can. Well, it's a fee that can't be charged to the client, right? So they're not going to be charged anyways. But you can definitely, when you're marketing it to the real estate agents, you can definitely say it's not a fee that the seller is going to have to pay because your lender that you're partnered with covers it. So, and we paid on refis too. So, I think it's definitely worth having conversations about. I also think when you're looking at rate and you're looking at price, you're getting this plus we're giving you an extra credit and we're covering all of this. So I definitely think it's worth marketing when you're on the phone with the client. I think it's one of those I do think it's a conversation, one that you have to have because they're not going to understand what non-allowables are and all that. So instead you're going to say, we're going to pay for your notary fee. We're going to pay for this. We're going to pay for that. And you explain it that way. I think it resonates a little bit more. And we can even go through, if you guys want, when we do the training, we can even, I know it sounds silly, but we can even go through some scripting of like how to sell VA, what's a good angle, what's a good pitch, all of that. So, we can even break it up into a couple weeks, a series of VA training too, because I don't want to overwhelm you guys, but, with the basics and then the sell side of it and then the underwriting side of it, we can absolutely do all of that.
So we ask you during the training, let's say next week, we will have a internal meeting, talking about VA, how to do marketing. But then the following week is the training from Rocket about VA loan. And then maybe we can have another follow-up meeting to share the result, to share what we know and learn. Sure.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Yeah, because it's not going to be one and done. You know what I mean? Like these are the things that take a little bit. It's, you got to hear something 7 times plus close a couple. I learn something new every day on all of these products, I feel like. So, but yeah, let's make it more of like a series and a follow-up and circle back through and then even just do check-ins. The biggest thing that even though we're not doing like it today is one thing that I would ask everybody to start doing is every single, and I know a lot of you do this, so I'm sorry if you do, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but every single time you take an application, you should ask the question, are you a vet? And then thank them for their service, obviously. I have an account in San Diego that literally they increase their production by, I think it was, their VA production, should I say, by it was 30%, just their VA production, because they started just asking that question. And so if you guys literally name, date of birth, social security number, are you a vet? Those are if you just make it habit, then you'll see how much you'll already start to, start having conversations around it. So you guys could start that immediately.
Thank you, Lindsay. Hi, Bong.
Also, the VA website is pretty good too, besides the Rocket, right, Lindsay? Yeah. And also, can I ask Lindsay, the VA website, they had a lot of information, we can go and take a look because I went before. And also, I want to ask you a specific question about VA. So if somebody 10% or more disability, they can waive the upfront fee, right?
Fee is waived. That is correct.
Our website, our pricing engine is really smart. It helps you 50% of the work already. As soon as you select disability, receiving disability, it will wipe out the VA funding fee. you play around with our pricing engine. You will see it
Okay,
help
I
you a
didn't know
lot.
that. Sorry.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Sorry.
You play around with it. You will see. Hey, Xiaolang.
Oh yes, hi. I just want to recommend someone like Tuan said, we follow up those top loan officer. I'm following up someone who recommended me. It's called What's a Mortgage on Instagram. Why? I just recently found out if you go on his website, he has those like conventional loans, VA loans, or FHA refinance or purchase loans. All those big booklets he made for his 20-year experience for free. And then like a new loan officer or new to some kind of product, his guidance is very easy to read, just like a reference book. As well as Rocket have the Pathfinder, we can use that one to help us.
If you can share that with me, this is what we can do. We can build a page for VA loan, a page for FHA loan, and then you can use that on your website so that your VA client can come there to read, to learn, and you can share that. We can do that as a company. It's easy for Loan Factory to push it out to your website. Yeah, we can do that.
Great. Yeah. And yeah, I just want to let other new loan officer know that gonna help us to learn as well from following him.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
like I said, whatever benefit most loan officer, we will make it happen. And in about 5 minutes, I will show you a new feature that will be rolling out this weekend. If you are ready, I can share that with you now. Let me share my screen. But anyone have more question right now? Anyone have more question? If not, then you can see my screen and you see subscription here. This weekend, like in 2 days, you will have the same feature. So let me give you a summary of subscription. It is one level higher than the bulk email. We are in the service business. We need to build relationship with the realtor, with the clients. And we always want to stay on top of their mind. We always want to communicate with them regularly. And we don't want to disconnect. So if you email them and they hate that, they will mark you as a spammer and you lose that client forever. So we have to be clever by sending them information that they find useful. So far, the rate update is very good. The rate update so far we sent to all loan officer or realtor, they all love it. So we will give it to you. The first thing is the rate update. You as the loan officer, you all work with some realtors or a lot of realtors. So we will give you the power of sending out rate update emails, either by text or by email to your realtors. Right now, the company can do it. But next week, you can do it. As a loan officer, you can set it up. You can import the list of realtor or clients, and you can send them the rate automatically. I recommend send it to realtor only. Client is, they don't want to receive this regularly, the rate, because most of the time, they don't need to see the rate. So you can send the rate update daily to your realtor. And it can be text. Okay, that is the first thing. Secondly, it is you can send the email newsletter here. And the company have 87,000 contacts. It includes all realtors, associate, borrowers, title company, everyone. So we will give you this as well. And it will be a template. Let's say here you can create a newsletter. You can select the template. I have to remember this is the first version. So there will be a lot of room for improvement. There's a lot of template. So like weekly mortgage news, company update, tips and advice, success story, educational, call to action, a lot of different sections. And if you don't like it, you just delete it. You highlight and delete it, okay? So the key here is to make everything so easy for you to send out a newsletter. And it's important we send them good information. in the near future, very, very close, I also plan to help you. Some of you might not be good at creating a newsletter. So I might allow you to use, when I send out the newsletter for myself, for my client, I send it on your behalf. That will help you a lot. So that is a quick update on the subscription. Anyone have question about this? No other software out there allow you to do this. This is very powerful. Hey, Benjamin.
So is this kind of like MailChimp or something like that, where you can build your existing clients or take emails or import email lists? Can we do that inside, or we would have to go to MailChimp or something to do that?
We build this. We don't have to use MailChimp.
Okay.
And this is better than MailChimp is mostly bulk email. You spam people.
Yeah.
You
It's too
just send
complex, too hard to understand.
Yeah. And we do not want to spam people. We don't want to send them a lot of email. People think email is spam normally. So we don't want to do that. So when we send out, we let them know this is a newsletter with useful information. It's the same thing. You want to send a message to your clients, right? To your target clients. The key here is to how to make it better. It's a message. It's a newsletter. It's official. It's beneficial. It's not a spam email. That is the key. One thing I have to note is there is a limit. You cannot abuse the system. We do not want you to spam people. First, it costs money too. First, spamming is forbidden. We should not spam people. Secondly, it costs money to do email or text. One text message costs almost 1 cent. So imagine I send out 10,000 text messages a day. That would cost me $100 a day. That is a lot of money. So we will have a limitation. There will be 2 types of subscription. By default, every one of you can use it for free, but there will be a limit. You cannot do too much email or text message. And then let's say if you do it well, you grow in your database, you want to have more quota, then we will switch you to a pay program. And it's going to be cheap. Like for text message, it's like 1 cent per text. Or email is like $1 per 1,000 emails, something really cheap. First, because we have to recoup the cost. Secondly, we don't want you to abuse it. So that's all. But we will improve it. And you will see it's a good feature. And I encourage everyone to use it. Anyone have question about this? Hi, Tiffany.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The question on that one. So earlier you said that you're going to share all the information like the clients, the realtors, etc. What if 2 loan officers targeting just the same realtor? Will we prevent that from happening?
Sometimes 2 loan officers will try to work with 1 realtor. So I still prefer that if we know the realtor already work with another loan officer, we should try not to hit the same realtor. But if the realtor really want to work with you, then it's up to the realtor to decide. It's the same thing that there's a company policy right now that I want to remove. Right now, there's a policy about client for life. If client will belong to you, that client will belong to you forever. But I'm thinking about removing that. It's up to the client to decide who to work with. So I will decide in the next few days, and I will share with everyone the policy. For example, I ran into a situation last week where the client submit a loan. It's a purchase. The company process the loan, submit the loan to the lender, and then another LO jump in and say, oh, that client belongs to me. It's kind of too late. You know what I mean? If it's early, the client say, I want to work this LO, then we respect them. But how can you help a client and you not knowing that the client is in contract and even allow that the client to work with another LO and submit the loan already? So where is the limit? Where do we not allowing the client to pick another loan officers? So that is something that I want to ask all of you. Imagine you're helping a client and then submit the loan, and then some other LO jump in and say, that client belongs to me. The client can write a letter and say that client want to work with me. So I want to hear feedback from you. Hey, Xiaoling.
Hi, Tuan. For the same question, can I ask back about if I refer a client to the company, like if I didn't have the license to that state, but he still
Mhm.
want to come back to Texas later, can I have that client back to myself?
Yes, yes, of course, of course. That's why I
Okay,
say
perfect. Thank you.
we will remove client for life policy. So as long as the client want to work with you, it's up to you, to the client to decide. Yeah. Hi, Jack.
So I had the same scenario when I used to work with Wells Fargo, and the only way to get this resolved is having some sort of a communication in writing from the client. Most likely will be an email stating that they would like to work with either me or Tuan or Patrick or Scott or any one of you, because it has to come from them in order for you to switch the loan to the new person, because the client must have perhaps known you for last 4 or 5 years. You did a loan for them for 5 years ago, but you never stayed in communication with them, and they decided to go with someone else with the same company name, and they really like the new person. So you should leave that up to the client who they decided to go with. I mean, unfortunately, if you lose the client, that should be your fault because you did not stay on top of your client.
Okay, okay. So even if the loan went really deep, like almost clear to close or clear to close, this is one case that abuse may happen. For example, a client work with you, Jack, and you charge 200 basis point.
Yeah.
And then somehow the client meet me and they say, hey, work with me, I give you better rate. I charge 100 basis point. And then the client say, write a letter, say, hey, I want to work with Tuan. I like Tuan more and all that. So that is a really bad scenario. We don't want that to happen. It really lay into the process. And then the client just want to work with Tuan.
I think
We don't want that.
No, I do think that there should be a limit as far as how far the loan has gone to. Perhaps, if the loan's already been submitted to a lender, it's been approved, that's, at that point, you can't get the client back, just because, like you said, that could be the case where they're just trying to undercut you. But then again, at the end of the day, if we all work we all work together, there shouldn't be no undercutting each other.
Yeah. So that's why we want to have a policy. So everyone understand and follow. It's better. Hey, Scott.
Yeah, so I agree with Zach. I think, and we could take our cues from Rocket and the way they do it between wholesale and retail. Once a loan reaches a certain point in the process, it's, there's nothing they can do about it. They'll refuse to work with that person. We just have to decide where in the process that is. But I think that's a good way to do it.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking, like Jack said, if the loan is submitted and approved, then we should not allow switching. It's too late, way too late.
And sometimes, just like what I had experience with, obviously me being onboarding, and for my license, finally, I guess today will be the day that all my loans will be under my name. But when a client fills out the application, it accidentally, I didn't see it. It didn't come to my portal, it went to someone else's portal. So my client reached out to me and told me, who's this person? So that's it off where if the application accidentally goes to another loan officer, but your client, if you're not aware of it, and if your client doesn't tell you, what would you do? Would you, still have the new person in the office reach out to them, and maybe perhaps they could say, are you currently working with someone from the loan factory on the new apps? Is that something you might consider having all of us do?
Can you ask the question again, Jack?
So for example, a couple of my applications that my clients filled out, it didn't come to me. It went to you, and then the company called them, right? And
Yes.
right away, my clients told me, who's this person? And then I had to go
Okay.
back and say that, okay, look, here's the communication. This application should be to me. But the new person that called them right away, I do think that we should ask the clients, are you currently working with anyone from the company?
I see.
Because
I see.
sometimes
Sure.
sometimes the application
Sure.
might go to someone else, and it obviously, mistakes can happen. It's indirect mistakes. So we should
Sure,
definitely ask
sure.
each client, unless it's like a client that you've never talked to before or have heard, and all of a sudden you get an application in your portal pop up, you should ask,
Okay.
hey, are you currently working
Yes.
with anyone?
Yeah, good suggestion. So, Guru team, can you make sure the supporting staff always ask the client who are they working with, any loan officer that they're working with. Okay, Matt, make sure
Yeah, but
that
I
for me,
put it up
please.
for you.
Okay,
So
thank
Juan, I'm
you.
just going to add to that. So the previous company, to Zach's point, is I mean, this is for loan officers too. Is that's part of the process when we got on the phone with every client is ask how were you referred to us, right? So
Yes.
I mean, that's
Yes.
protection here and to create camaraderie amongst all of us here is that if you get a new loan and you know how excited some of us may be by that is take the time to ask the client because you don't want the client to think that we're out to get one another. It's not the way that we want
Yes,
the company
yes.
to look.
That's good. Thank you. Matt also asked this question. How did they know about Loan Factory? Every
Yes.
single client. Our system also track this. We have a question about how do they know about Loan Factory. So make sure we capture this. And if they work with any loan officer. Okay. Thank you, Matt. Thank you. Let's make it happen. So we have a company meeting in 3 minutes. We should wrap up soon. And maybe next Monday, we should have a section about VA loan. I will share with you some of the findings that I know. So, and then this weekend, Moso will release a new version. Also, really quick, I think I will decide it. I will sign up with Facebook Workplace so that we can communicate better. We can get support better. And I need some of you to help me set it up. If you can, spend some time, set up, just go in and configure what we want in the workplace so that we can communicate better. So yeah, we will make it happen. I think I like that idea to have a place where we can come together and learn and get help. Jens, just send a message. I told Natalie to make sure that to remind everyone a day before and an hour before any meeting. Yes, Natalie?
Yeah, I will remind Natalie for you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you. Sorry I was out last week, but I'm back now. Okay, we have another meeting in 2 minutes. And that meeting I will wrap up soon too. I don't want to waste everyone's time. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.